1971 Kawasaki A7 Avenger 350, two-stroke twin cylinder, rotary valve intake, 42 horsepower back in 1971. A lot of power. Fantastic, very original bike. I've had it year and a half, been working on it, improving it. I did paint it and get new decals, chrome the pipes, and done some miscellaneous mechanical work, replaced the front gaiters, replaced the clutch, got the clutch proper, new oil filters, of course, new tires, IRC tires, put together an original toolkit for it, and it is, unlike most of my bikes, very stock, virtually 100% stock. The only deviation from stock is that tail light. I didn't like the big stock tail light and license plate, and I found this tail light that seems to be correct looking, less obtrusive, and like I said, way more stock than most of my bikes, but I like the way it looks. It's kitschy and cool, fast and fun. High handlebars, fairly big fenders, which I normally wouldn't like on a bike, but I do like on this bike. Has a nice small headlight anyway. No turn signals. I always hate turn signals, and this one didn't come with turn signals, so I didn't have that issue. Only has one mirror, so the mirrors aren't too obtrusive, and really nice colors. This green, blue, and ivory. And if you look at these decals, kind of amazing detail from Diablo in Canada, the way they fade, which is the way they were stock. Can't quite tell, but little dots in there and stuff. Has this neat steering adjuster. Showing 13,000 miles. You never really know on an old bike, but the bike is in really fantastic shape, and I was having an issue with getting it to run perfectly in terms of smoking equally from both cylinders. I worked on it a ton, and with a little help from a local expert, finally got that resolved. And the details on this bike are neat. Like, look at the choke, just nice, and the controls, and the level of engineering sophistication on this bike for 1971 is pretty freaking amazing in reality. Like I said, it has a rotary valve intake, and what that means is normally you'd see carburetors behind the cylinders. You don't see that because the carburetors are actually underneath these side covers. You can see the control, one on each side, it being a twin. And there's what they call a rotary valve, which is a valve that spins. Imagine that, a rotary valve. And that helps with the intake charge management, which means that this bike is far less peaky than your typical two-stroke. Peaky means that, it comes on the power all at once, not the opposite of torquey. Yet for a two-stroke, even though this thing is really got a lot of power at 42 horsepower, like I said, from 350 cc's, which is pretty amazing, it's still quite torquey. So let's start the bike up. And I was just riding it, and it's just running fantastically. So you turn the turn signal on. If you hear a faint buzz, that means the electronic ignition is working. And believe it or not, this had an electronic ignition back in 1971. Pretty darn amazing, like I was saying. It's warm, so I don't need to choke it. See if I can hold the phone and start it. behind, because then you feel like you're safe. But like I said, I'm really happy with the bike.